We're kicking off with WWE, and it's been 6 weeks since The Rock appeared at Bad Blood in Atlanta, adding a new layer to the Bloodline saga, which has dominated screens since 2020. The fans were left buzzing as to what's to come, and with The Rock absent from TV since that night, theories have been flying around about what's next for the final boss. One popular theory is that The Rock is the real mastermind behind Solo Sikoa's bloodline, which has welcomed Jacob Fatu, Tama Tonga, and Tonga Loa into the fold this year. Sikoa's post-Bad Blood comment that The Rock's appearance was part of the plan has fans wondering if the People's Champion has been pulling the strings all along. Now this theory has gotten new legs thanks to Tama Tonga, who on last week's SmackDown made the same cutthroat gesture The Rock did at Bad Blood. When a fan on Twitter said this confirmed The Rock's remote control over the bloodline, Tonga responded with a simple, spine-tingling, shh. Could this be the breadcrumb trail fans have been waiting for? Is Tama Tonga revealing that The Rock is indeed on his way back as head of the new bloodline? We'll have to wait for WWE to reveal The Rock's potential involvement, but the addition of Bronson Reed to the bloodline after last week's SmackDown is another twist to watch. What do you think about The Rock potentially being the puppet master behind the bloodline? Please share your thoughts and feedback in the comments section below. On the post-WrestleMania 40 Raw, The Rock vowed to return and confront Cody Rhodes, and buzz around the two grew during the final boss's return at Bad Blood. Shortly after his appearance at Bad Blood, though, it was claimed that The Rock had told WWE he wouldn't make WrestleMania 41, citing Hollywood commitments. The Rock later refuted the report, calling it bullshit on social media, leaving fans to wonder what Rock will do next April, if he has a role at all. While speaking to Adrian Hernandez, Cody Rhodes addressed the possibility of The Rock not competing at WrestleMania 41 and was confident in his involvement. He said, "Well, I mean this, and I don't mean this in a smart aleck type way, but The Rock is the director of the board, the man that is the final boss. Dwayne Johnson is different from the final boss. His outside-the-box thinking with Nick Khan and Triple H is part of WWE's record era, part of the WWE Netflix era. So whether he's in the ring or not, he's very much still involved with what happens at 41. I know when he comes back, I know who he'll come looking for, and I know what to expect, but what I can say about WrestleMania 41 is, keep the rumors going, keep them churning, enjoy the discourse, but I think what you'll get will surprise you. All there is." It was reported earlier this year that the plan for next April was Cody versus The Rock, but now many have predicted a triple threat between the two that would include Roman Reigns. Whatever role The Rock plays in 2025, Cody is planning on headlining WrestleMania for the 4th time after headlining Night 2 last year and both nights this past April. But what do you think? What role do you want The Rock to have at WrestleMania 41? Should he have a match in Las Vegas? Give your thoughts down below. Over to Raw, as the Wyatt Six and the Final Testament have been worrying for some time, with the issues between the two not being confined to just the weekly show. On Twitter, Karrion Kross addressed Joe Gacy, who had been performing in the Wyatt Six, but Kross attempted to sow dissension within the faction. Kross said that Gacy's role is to shut your mouth and do everything the Howdy Doody tells you, and said that Gacy's role within the Wyatt Six is a charade. Kross spoke of Gacy's time leading the schism in NXT and said he knows Joe isn't complacent being in the background behind Howdy, but is instead a frontman. Karrion Kross is trying to sow seeds of doubt in Gacy's mind, and losing him as an ally would certainly hurt the Wyatt Six, especially if Joe aligned with the Final Testament. Do you think Kross's plans will work? Will Joe Gacy's past as a leader mean he can't take orders from Uncle Howdy for much longer? Let us know in the comments. On last week's Raw, Uncle Howdy's group fell victim to an ambush by the Final Testament and The Miz as the issues between the two sides continue to grow each time they meet. Howdy and his acolytes will be hungry for revenge this week, and on Twitter, Nikki Cross shared a bizarre video which seemed to feature a portion of VHS programming. Whether we see the rest of this video on Raw, time will tell, but Cross and the Wyatt Six won't be taking the beating they received last week without a retort. What do you expect to see from the Wyatt Six on tonight's Raw? Will the Final Testament and The Miz once again have the upper hand? Give your thoughts in the comments section. CM Punk and Rey Mysterio made a notable appearance at Complex Con on Sunday, marking Punk's first public outing since his brutal Hell in a Cell match against Drew McIntyre at Bad Blood 2024. The event, a vibrant celebration of music, style, pop culture, art, food, and innovation, featured exclusive brand releases, immersive experiences, and standout performances. Highlights included live sets by Travis Scott and Playboi Carti, alongside a bustling marketplace showcasing hundreds of brands, retailers, and artists. Following the intense Hell in a Cell battle, Punk has been absent from WWE television, taking a well-earned hiatus. Appearing in a sharp blue suit, he was in high spirits as he engaged with fans, even tossing merchandise into the crowd. Notably, he showed no visible signs of injury. Joining him was Rey Mysterio, a longtime rival and collaborator, adding to the excitement of the festivities. WWE captured and shared moments of the event on social media, much to the delight of fans. Another standout attendee was Liv Morgan, who made waves with her candid response to a fan's question about her WWE Dream Match. She named the late WWE Hall of Famer Chyna, sparking conversation and admiration among those present. Over to AEW, and despite his popularity with fans, it's been nearly a year since Danhausen was on TV, leaving fans to speculate about his future with the company. According to Fightful Select, there haven't been any serious talks between Danhausen and AEW in some time, with the last meaningful talks happening over 6 months ago. Those talks were mostly to get indie dates approved, a standard practice for AEW contracted stars, but AEW has had plans for Danhausen in the past. The report adds that Danhausen was set to return from injury about a year ago but came to nothing, and there were pitches tossed around earlier this year for a comeback. Bryan Danielson is said to be a major advocate for Danhausen's comeback, and for a while AEW thought Danhausen was more interested in indie dates than Collision tapings. Danhausen allegedly told AEW that family obligations impacted his availability and that those circumstances could evolve, but AEW noticed him working indie shows at the time. That's why AEW believes Danhausen would rather compete on the indies than Collision, and this all comes amid the fact that his contract will end in the summer of next year. Back in May, Danhausen shared an interesting message in which he said he answers to none, belongs nowhere, and believes in nothing but himself. Now, while this could be easily seen as just another cryptic post by the bizarre character, his absence from AEW could lead fans to speculate that this post addressed his real situation. But what do you think is next for Danhausen? Do you want to see him back on AEW TV? Perhaps he should try his luck in WWE. Give your thoughts down in the comments. Now, Adam Copeland has been absent from AEW television since suffering a serious leg injury during his match against Malachi Black at Double or Nothing 2024. Despite the setback, Copeland has proven to be a valuable addition to All Elite Wrestling since his debut at WrestleDream 2023. Even in the twilight of his career, the Ultimate Opportunist has reinvented his wrestling style to keep pace with relatively young AEW performers. In a recent interview with Fightful, Copeland shared promising updates on his recovery, noting significant and rapid improvements in his mobility. If his progress continues at the current rate, fans may see the former TNT champion return sooner than anticipated. Upon his return, Copeland will have no shortage of compelling opponents, offering the potential for exciting storylines and memorable matches. Here are 3 possibilities for his comeback. Number 3, Adam Copeland targets the TNT Championship. Before his injury, Adam Copeland had an impressive reign as TNT champion, introducing the weekly Cope Open Challenge to showcase his skills against a variety of challengers. These open challenges elevated his in-ring performances and added prestige to the title. Currently, the TNT Championship is held by Jack Perry, who captured the title at Forbidden Door 2024. Perry is currently embroiled in a rivalry with Daniel Garcia, who is poised to challenge for the belt at Full Gear 2024. Should Garcia claim the title, it sets the stage for a showdown with Copeland, who never officially lost the championship. A potential Copeland vs. Garcia feud could provide a mix of experience and rising talent. Copeland's veteran expertise and storytelling ability would help elevate Garcia while giving fans a fresh and dynamic rivalry. Number 2, Adam Copeland vs. Jon Moxley. Copeland's storied history with former Shield members Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins during his WWE tenure saw him deliver iconic feuds, including a WrestleMania main event and a critically acclaimed trilogy with Rollins. However, Moxley remains the one Shield alum he has yet to face. Moxley, now in his 4th reign as AEW World Champion, has been dominant alongside his Death Riders faction, and a feud between Moxley and Copeland could be a battle of wills, combining traditional wrestling with their shared penchant for violence. In his first AEW promo, Copeland teased the idea of confronting AEW's top stars. With his career almost coming to an end, this feud could be a marquee rivalry that cements both men's legacies in the company. Number 1, Adam Copeland turns heel to face Will Ospreay. One of Copeland's primary motivations for joining AEW was the opportunity to wrestle a new generation of talent. Since his debut, he's faced opponents like Kyle O'Reilly, Minoru Suzuki, Brody King, and Penta El Zero Miedo, matches that fans never imagined during his WWE career. A dream match against Will Ospreay, one of AEW's brightest stars, could further Copeland's legacy. However, for this rivalry to truly resonate, Copeland would need to embrace his villainous side. As the rated R superstar, Copeland thrived as one of wrestling's most despised figures, and a heel turn could bring out his best against Ospreay. Ospreay's athleticism and innovative offense would push Copeland to his limits, while Copeland's cunning and experience would provide a masterclass in storytelling. By ultimately putting over Ospreay, Copeland could solidify the younger star's ascent to becoming the cornerstone of AEW. As Adam Copeland continues to recover, his eventual return promises exciting possibilities for AEW fans. Whether he rekindles old rivalries or creates new ones, the Ultimate Opportunist will undoubtedly make his final run in wrestling one to remember. What do you think of these potential storylines for Adam Copeland? Who should he face upon his return? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Now, UFC 309 brought an unforgettable night of action to Madison Square Garden, with Charles Oliveira securing a thrilling victory over Michael Chandler in their high-octane clash. Adding to the excitement, WWE power couple Triple H and Stephanie McMahon were spotted cageside, bringing a touch of sports entertainment prestige to the star-studded event. Fans quickly took notice as cameras captured the McMahons' reactions throughout the night. Their appearance sparked a wave of buzz on social media, with wrestling and MMA fans alike weighing in on the crossover moment. Triple H seemed perfectly at ease, mingling with UFC personalities and even sharing a nod with Donald Trump during the evening. Stephanie, exuding her signature poise and authority, added an extra layer of intrigue to their surprise appearance. While the spotlight remained firmly on the Octagon, the cameos from high-profile figures, including Trump and the McMahons, kept fans guessing and added to the unpredictability of the event. What are your thoughts on Triple H and Stephanie McMahon's appearance at UFC 309? Should Stephanie return on screen as a character in WWE? Share your feedback in the comments below. Now, tomorrow night's NXT will see the road continue to NXT Deadline, with 3 Iron Survivor Challenge qualifying matches set for the show. In only her third match for NXT, Zarya will take on Ren Sinclair for a spot in the women's match, while Jada Parker will take on Stephanie Vecchia. NXT Tag Champions Nathan Frazier will compete in singles action as he takes on Eddie Thorpe, with the winner joining Wes Lee and Javon Evans, who qualified last week. The winners of the Iron Survivor Challenge matches are guaranteed title opportunities, and who do you hope to see qualify from these 3 matches? Let us know down below. This year, WWE's been more open than ever to working with other companies, and recently Shawn Michaels welcomed Yoshiki Inamura to the Performance Center. The Japanese star has been a standout performer in Pro Wrestling Noah and is now part of NXT, though the Wrestling Observer notes that this is likely a temporary excursion. Inamura made a quick appearance on WWE NXT TV during the November 12th episode, meeting with NXT General Manager Ava and Josh Briggs, and now he's been in action. During the November 16th live event in Tampa, Florida, Inamura teamed with Briggs in an NXT Tag Title match, but came up short against Nathan Frazier in Axiom. While Yoshiki Inamura was unable to win his in-ring debut, fans were still impressed with what he did, and it'll be interesting to see where the NXT Noah partnership goes from here. Are you excited at this partnership? Which non-WWE talent would you like to see have substantial roles as part of the Silver brand? Share your picks down below. Now, former AEW Women's World Champion Saraya has been absent from television since before the WrestleDream pay-per-view in October, sparking curiosity among fans about her whereabouts. Despite her absence from the ring, Saraya remains with AEW, and according to Sean Ross Sapp of Fightful Select, she is not dealing with any injuries, but is taking some time off to focus on other projects. Saraya's last AEW match was a loss to Willow Nightingale in a 4-way bout that also included Nyla Rose and Jamie Hayter. The match determined the next challenger for Mariah May's AEW Women's World Championship at WrestleDream. Prior to this, Saraya had been feuding with Jamie Hayter, a rivalry that began at All In London when Hayter returned after a 15-month hiatus. Their feud culminated in a Saraya Rules match at the Grand Slam edition of AEW Collision in September, where Hayter emerged victorious. Earlier this year, Saraya signed a new 1-year contract with AEW. Her original 2-year deal, signed in 2022, reportedly included an option for an additional year if certain conditions were met. However, rather than activating the extension, AEW opted to offer her a fresh contract. There are currently no concrete plans for Saraya's return to AEW programming. Before her hiatus, she was teaming with Harley Cameron as part of the Outcasts faction. Since Saraya's absence, Cameron has continued as a singles competitor, facing opponents such as Chris Statlander, Thunder Rosa, and Mina Shirakawa. And we're ending with AEW, who took to Twitter yesterday to wish Mercedes Moné a happy birthday in a celebration of the day that the reigning TBS champion arrived in this world. The only problem? Yesterday was not Moné's birthday, as she'll instead turn 33 on January 26th next year, and fans quickly picked up on AEW's botch. What AEW was trying to do was wish a happy birthday to Mercedes Martinez, who turned 44 yesterday, and AEW later uploaded the correct birthday graphic. While AEW corrected the error, many in the comments mocked them for the mistake, with one account saying it took long enough for the company to get it right. Another said it was better later than never, while a third said it was second time's the charm, and others just shared the deleted tweet wishing Moné a happy birthday. This was a humorous case of mistaken Mercedes, and while AEW has corrected their error, we imagine fans will be ready to remind them next January for Moné's actual birthday.